the new knowledge, which now scientifically through what we call research, which is going on, will be laid out in a very simple way. Mankind speaks about DNA. DNA is a hard disk, is not the information. Made of blocks, as mankind has called it, sequence of proteins making the structure of the physicality. It's like stacking computers on top of each other. These stacking, these memory cards and memory bank put in a box called the human body cannot do anything unless they can communicate with each other. They need a software. They need a communication line. They need to be in the environment that all receive the same energy and the same information, that all can balance each other and create a structure. And then when it comes with that emotion, how do they receive the information? We call it the RNA, what we call the communication line, the bank of the memories, what's going to go into this hardware. And then the emotion creates the current, the information, the magnetic fields for the what I call the information to be released to the physicality of the DNA. We understood psychosomatic. Now mankind has to understand the new word, psychogenetic, where psychologically we create genetic modification. And we said the gentleman or the child has genetic deformation. How did it come in? How did it start? Where did that deformation come from? Where did the movement of one of the computer disks from one stacker move to the other? Or it behaves like the other, which brings that genetic defect. Now, with the new knowledge of what we call psychogenetic, we understand all the genetic defects, all the genetic information, which we call it defect, all modification, comes through the essence of the emotion of the man. What happened to your forefathers? Or what happened to you in one point of your life that you create an information, that information through the essence of the emotion dimensions of the magnetic field of the plasma of the soul of the man and the physicality dimension, the brain, becomes moving one from one bank into the other, behaving like the other, and then it doesn't fit in, and we call it genetic defect. Now that the mankind has been given this knowledge, what we call psychogenetic, and psycho, whatever you call it, shows the dimension of magnetic field, plasma of the magnetic field of the emotion, creating the motion, the movement, the energy for one of these memory banks and stuck it in the box of the memory of the structure of the man to behave like another one 10 step up. And it doesn't fit. So it has to move the structure that it can't fit. Telephones have to move. We call it whatever cell has moved or whatever protein has moved in the gene of the man. And then we call it defect. Now, if we can create that emotion, if we can create that plasmatic field of strength that moved the mobile phone or the memory bank to behave or move to another position to behave like the others, which creates a defect, and we put it back in its original place or give it the energy that it works as it was supposed to, then there'll be no genetic defects. We don't modify, we correct. With what we call psychogenetic, man will become a perfect man. And in space, wherever you land, delivers a perfect gene, a perfect combination for the structure of the building. If you have a cancer here and you land on the planet Zeus, you still have the cancer, but not to kill, because the genes have decided it's one of us, we look after it, it's a new part. But it won't kill you, it won't create a defect. It arranges for it to be accommodated, the way the plasma does. The world and the science of what we call psychogenetic through RNA will become a new science for man to work on. We don't do genetic modification by changing something that your child will have a blue eyes blue because you love to have a blue-eyed child. You transfer the emotion of the pleasure it gives you through the emotion of the body of the man and the soul of the man to the RNA, and the modification will be perfect. I want to be pleased. This is how man will create the next generation, the next cycle of his children, through the emotion of the soul, and not through the what we call action sets. This is the way in the universe most of the creations are done. Man has been physical in every dimension, even in the generation of his own offspring. The new knowledge and the new paper which will be released will explain a lot of this for the next and new generation of the science and technology, which the man needs to understand to become a member of the universal community. The soul of Christ was created out of the energy of the love of the Creator, and not but sexual interaction. Carries the soul of the Creator. This is what mankind has to understand. And this is what the new knowledge and technology will be brings, and will bring more in the coming months and weeks and days to many of the knowledge. We don't change genes. We are not in the world of man's fake knowledge of medicine. We work through the process of understanding the emotion and the emotions and the interaction of the fields of the plasma of the soul of the man and the soul of physicality of the man work. The two things which was hidden from man and was abused by those who thought they understood, but the word could be abused. The soul and the spirit. The sun and the emotion of the fields of the physicality. We call it the atmosphere of the planet. We call it the atmosphere of the body of the man.